Hey guys, it's Elliot Booth and this is the Tattoo Removal Australia show. Say goodbye to the myths, confusions and misconceptions of the tattoo removal industry and say hello to real information, real clients and real results. Welcome to the TRA show with myself and my beautiful co-host Rita Da Silva, where we take you beyond the trend. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back, everyone. TRA show.
Yeah, today we're doing another Q&A, and I know it's been a few weeks since we've done a proper Q&A session where we pick some questions that you guys send in. So
yeah, we have some questions.
Yeah, we hope you guys enjoy it. The last couple of episodes we've just sort of been shooting the shit, talking, explaining life and weeks and whatnot. But we thought let's get back to
Q&A.
Answer some questions that you guys have.
Absolutely.
And on that note, as always, please email any questions to askelliot@tattooremovalaus.com.au. Email your questions to Ask Elliot, which is LLT, or just send them, DM us, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get them.
Do you have any news this week, Elliot?
Any news other than a Q&A going down? I'm waiting to hear back from a real estate agent so we can sign a lease for the Gold Coast Clinic.
Exciting. That's
Rita
so
came
good.
with me and we had a look at a place. I can't tell you the suburb. I can, but I don't want to. We'll wait till it's all locked in. But yeah, we looked at a place last week. Pretty cool.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Way more spacious than the Brisbane Clinic.
Yeah, twice the size. Same rent and twice the size.
Nice vibes, nice location. I think it would be.
Yeah, still hurts like hell, unfortunately. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think that's much news.
Yeah.
Another week of vlogging.
Yeah, vlogging. Was there next episode, the second one?
It's really hard when you talk about time dates because this won't come out till Friday. Yeah. Today's Monday, so we're 4 days in advance to when you're listening to this. So who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
There's always new podcast episodes every Friday, new vlogs every Monday, Tuesday.
Awesome. We keep you guys.
Yeah. Keep you all updated with it all. What else? How are you?
I'm good. It's been like a great week. I've been watching some of the videos and observing and reflecting on some of the videos of the podcast.
Oh.
And then
what, are you trying to tell me you've never actually watched it?
Yeah. I always say then I watch it. Just don't like to watch when it has someone close.
Rita
to me.
hates listening to herself speak.
Well, yeah.
So she always pretty much doesn't watch it.
That's what I'm trying to learn. Be more familiar the way that I sound, and then I've been doing like it. Then following this guy. Then he's an expert in communication.
You were telling me about this.
Yeah, and he gives like many tips how you can improve the way then you express yourself.
Even I fall into this trap.
Yeah,
Rita was explaining it to me, and how I say when I think, I'm thinking out loud. Where he teaches you when you think to shut your mouth.
Exactly.
I'll let you explain. Yeah. It's so interesting.
And then I realized how often I say like. It's like.
And maybe you just really like things.
Yeah, no, it's just because in Portuguese it's conjunction. Then I would say quite a lot, and then it's very common to me to do the same thing in English. So
interesting.
Yeah, and then I say, it's like. It's in Portuguese you would say like it's tipo.
At least you have an excuse because I just say because I'm trying to think of what to say.
So they were explaining when you say like you don't give as much credibility to your audience.
Because it portrays as a lack of confidence, right?
Yes. So that's why instead to say the word, when you notice then you're going to say the word, it's better you just like don't say anything, shut your mouth, and then like a little pause and keep going with your sentence, because it's normal. People pause when they're talking as well.
In a normal conversation.
Yeah. So it was actually a great tip. And so if you guys see me today like, it's because I was about to say like, but I did not.
When I'm thinking of what to say, I kind of do verbalize. I'll go, like I'll make a noise. So it's like trying to consciously, really interesting.
Yeah, it's really, and he gave like so many tips, even like to our face expressions as well. Like all these exercise when you're talking, you don't like just mumbling like that, or like you really open your mouth and
Interesting.
yeah, he's
If Rita gets
awesome.
any better at
Yeah.
podcasting, she's going to ask for a wage. So we don't want you to get too good.
Yeah, that's it. I just doing just for love.
It's a love job. Yeah.
It's a love job.
Stretching the love at times.
Yeah.
But, so I think, let's not jump straight into it yet.
Yeah.
Keep telling us. Come on.
So yeah, that's like what I pretty much have been trying to working on, improve like communication skills in any department of my life as well. Be more clear,
Yeah.
I think it's very important. That in your work, the way that you deliver your knowledge, it will give them like enough credibility. So
Yeah.
your presence, like your posture, those things.
I got a really nice compliment from a lady on Saturday. And she said, I feel because she's quite an anxious person and she has a lot of tattoos, like a lot. And it's totally understandable why she's so anxious and very nervous and overwhelmed. And I watch when I answer her question, she's looking at me, and I actually can see her drawing comfort. And she actually gave me a really nice compliment and was saying the last place that she was going to wouldn't really answer the questions that she was asking and would like dance around them and would left her feeling, that gut feeling when you just, no, I don't feel quite right. That's what she was getting.
Yeah.
And she really quite literally said, thank you for like actually answering my questions. And I could visibly see her engaged and like gaining confidence.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
It's not answering, it's like giving enough details.
Yeah.
They provide comfort,
Yeah. And I did say to her, I was like, honestly, everything I learned is from doing this for 10, 11, 12 years. Like nobody taught me this.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anywhere that can teach you this. So if somebody's not been doing this for long enough, they won't have the confidence, they won't have the skill. Like anything, if you do it for 11 years, you hope you get good at it.
Absolutely.
Where if you've done it for 1 year, there's no college that teaches you what 11 years of tattoo removal is going to teach you.
Yeah.
So it's that time that's helped me acquire that.
Help
Yeah.
to get.
So if you ask a newbie, I'm not saying that a newbie is not good at tattoo removal, but they won't be good at making you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Unless they really have that in their nature, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
When I started working in a health food store, this was back in 2017. I was here already for 9 years. 9? Oh, no. Yeah, 7. No, 7
Quick
years.
maths.
And I got this opportunity to sell supplements and working with nutritionists and naturopaths.
Which is right up your alley.
Yeah, and I never had worked with anything before. I was very familiar with like supplements, but like not with fitness supplements.
You
but
mean like
not
supplements?
with like natural medicine. And I remember then I wrote down the explanation of each herb and I memorized. So when I would have a question from a client, I could tell exactly what the herb was good for. And then that, like looking back now, really helped me to improve my sales.
Yeah.
Because I was just saying, this herb, they will help you to fight the virus. You're going to increase your metabolism. It's going to blah, 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 blah. And they go, oh, good. Okay. So like how many times I take and blah, blah, blah.
Take my money.
Sold. Really so
cool.
It's just like the little things then will give you better credibility. Yeah, full credibility.
I can't tell you how many times I've been in like a supplement store and you'll ask the person what it does and they'll start reading it and they're reading off the back and you're like, bro, I can read the fucking label.
Yeah.
Like they actually don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
You need to know the product then you're selling.
Yeah.
And then when you stop and then you read,
they read the label and then you're like, oh.
If the question is like, okay, how often and how many tablets I should take, then okay, you're gonna read it. But like you need to know about the product.
Yeah.
It's like when you buy a car, like you don't need to do every single feature, but you need to know like then how good the car is, the potential of the car, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
we were training this morning, shooting a little bit of content in the gym, but when I was training, I was sort of deep in thought. I go down these rabbit holes, right? And what I was thinking about, how tattoo removal is such a process. This is a terrible segue from what you were just talking about, but tattoo removal is such a process, and you have to sort of put faith in the person taking you through that process, in this instance, aka myself. How my brain got here, the lady that I was just talking about on Saturday, she said, do you have any tips for things that I can do to make this easier? And by that, she didn't mean the healing. She just meant just to get through the tattoo removal journey easier. And I basically just said, as hard as this is, you have to just stop caring. You have to accept it and let it go. Like clinging on to how many treatments it'll take will drive you crazy. Looking at the tattoos every day will drive you crazy. Thinking about the time frame will drive you crazy. You have to accept it and just let it, like, know that you're taking the right steps forward, but also putting faith in me. And the reason my brain went to this is it's so similar to a personal trainer or a fitness coach, where, you know, if you don't trust that trainer or fitness coach, you're not going to do what they say.
You're not going to follow the program.
And then I start thinking, and I'm like, how many people sign up with coaches and trainers and then still don't really follow what they say? And like, what makes them, you know, if you have like a genuinely qualified and capable and competent trainer, some people in their nature, they still won't listen. They still won't follow it. For some reason, they'll think that they're more, you know, they won't follow the plan. And you know, the harsh reality, it's like, what qualifies you to think you know better than that trainer?
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. I feel like that sometimes. And I understand people are nervous and certain things, but sometimes you'll get that odd personality that really questions and doubts, which is understandable to some degree, but at the same time, like, bro, I'm taking you through this. At some point, you have to just release it and trust me and let me guide you through it.
Yes, and have open-minded.
I just started thinking about the similarities with any process and just tattoo removal and fitness training.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like it's the acceptance component. I accept it, then I'm going through this journey. It's not a miracle. And it'll be like in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I'm not going to be losing 10 kilos. However, I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust what this coach is giving, the instructions they give to me. Then it's going to make me to get there. Yeah. And it's not you jump on the scales every day. It's not you eating less carbs than what your PT say.
How many sessions will I need until I'm jacked?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, so that's like the worst thing you can think about.
It's not about that. Yeah. Here you come just like for 30% of your time. It's how much effort you're going to put out of that. The same with tattoo removal. Like they come there, they stay with you for 15 minutes, but they need you to accept the journey out of the clinic.
Yeah.
You know, and it's 100% fact.
So interesting. My mind always goes down rabbit holes like that. How it's such you have to pick somebody that you trust and then surrender to it. Say, all right, I'm doing this. I'm going to do what they say. And in my case, whether that be the time frame between treatments or whatever it is, you know, some people will be lasering multiple tattoos and one will be so light that I'll say, hey, today we're not going to laser that one. Let's skip and we'll laser the darker ones. And then maybe next time you come around, we'll include that one. Like sort of different sort of game plans and sort of accepting that and just,
I know, like trusting your knowledge and expertise for that long time.
Yeah. And I hate the way that sounds because it sounds like you're sort of big noting. But it's
you have been
to
doing
some degree,
enough,
yeah.
Like I was saying, like again. Also, you have at all your clientele, they say on Google how much they are satisfied with. So that's another proof.
Social. What was the word? Social proof.
Yeah,
that was our word for today.
Yeah, the social proof.
Yeah, super interesting.
Then your methods work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even now, I'm thinking like people. I just said like, damn it. People wanting to come in sooner. Like I said, like again. Elliot, just let's come in sooner. You know, and it's like you don't I understand you're eager, but that's like saying, oh, I'm going to go to the gym twice a day, every day, and I'm not going to burn out. This will end well. You know,
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I feel like I'm rambling, but
Yeah,
tattoo
that's
removal is a process like anything in life. And it's really like a big compound effect. What's the worst thing a very motivated, eager client starting can do? Train every single day.
yeah. And
That's the
then
worst thing.
not resting.
Yeah, train even 5 days a week's
You
too
start
much
to
when
do
you're
strength
starting.
training, try to do like
Yeah.
the classes. You want to do everything at
And
the
you're
same
super
time.
motivated.
What can I do at home? And I go, no, do you know what you can do? Just get your steps done.
8
You don't
hours
have,
sleep.
yeah, you don't have to do anything at home. Just come
Yeah.
here 45 minutes, get your steps, and then follow your meal plan.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And show up.
Yeah.
So many, I shouldn't say so many, but people come in and say, I've got these 5, 6, 7 tattoos. Let's laser them all. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's do a couple today. In a few weeks, we can do a couple more, and sort of breaking that down. It's that same like beginner's eagerness. Does that make sense?
So true.
Yeah. I feel like that's in common with fitness goals as well. When
Yeah,
people get started, they just want to
absolutely.
laser everything. And I'm like, this is so unsustainable. Yeah. Building your
So
way up.
true.
Now back
Yeah.
onto our
Mm.
Q&As.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I heard you got some questions.
Yes, I have 3 questions here. Thank you guys for keeping sending your questions.
And we're sorry about the delay.
Yeah.
We're going to be a little bit more receptive, and we'll keep this Q&A thing happening.
Yeah, more often, that's
Yeah.
for sure. So keep and clarify everyone questions.
Put me on the spot, Rita.
Yeah, so here is, hi, Elio and Rita. My name is Jody. I was told that getting a tattoo is painful. Now I'm hearing the removal is even worse. I have a butterfly on my lower back and I got it done ages ago. My question is, what does the pain feel like? Is it unbearable? Many thanks, Jody.
Thank you, Jordy.
Yeah.
Really good question. Straight into it. Pain.
Yes, pain. We always talk about pain.
Tattoo removal hurts. There's no getting around that. My honest opinion is everybody can go through it, but you have to the way to set your mind is what hurts more. In 10 or 11 years, I've never had somebody not been able to complete a treatment. By that, I mean everybody who comes in finishes that treatment. But what sets people apart that are strong enough to continue the removal for the multiple treatments is how badly they want the tattoo gone. So long-term pain of living with the tattoo, living the rest of your life with a tattoo that you don't like, or the short-term pain of a 10-second treatment every couple of months. That's the real equation, I believe. So no doubt about it, tattoo removal hurts. I believe that it hurts more during the session than getting a tattoo, but the trade-off is it's so much quicker. So rather than getting a tattoo for 6 hours, something like the back of my hand, if I laser the back of my hand, that will take 30 seconds. And it's a painful 30 seconds. It hurts more than getting the tattoo. But if you want that tattoo gone, you can do that. I removed one of my hand tattoos, took 14 treatments, and I would laser it myself. Wow. And it sucked. It sucked, but the tattoo's gone. I've now re-tattooed it, but that tattoo's gone and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
So when it comes to pain, and lower back's not fun at all.
Lower back.
It hurts. Lower back hurts to put on. It hurts to take off. I think that if you want the tattoo gone, you can do it.
Absolutely.
That's the simple nuts and bolts to it. The pain shouldn't be a deterrent. When clients come in, it's because the tattoo has to go, and everybody gets through it just fine. So valuable concern, valuable question. But I would argue that if you're too concerned about the pain, if the pain is your biggest concern, you don't want the tattoo gone bad enough. Because the clients that do come in, when they're ready, they don't care. They're like, yeah, cool, I know it's going to hurt, but this tattoo, I hate it. It's got to go. Absolutely. And that's when the pendulum sort of switches, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she's asking if is it unbearable?
Absolutely not.
How do you explain? The way that I like to say when I got it done, it feels like when you're cooking and then you have like some like oil and like kind of spills on your skin.
Yeah.
Like it's uncomfortable, but it's not like, oh my God, this is so like
Yeah.
so painful. How would you describe it, like the
I
pain?
the something that I say to everybody is the pain, everybody's experience is relative to the size of the tattoo. So I'll be really honest, really small wrist tattoo, easy. Full sleeve, not so easy, if you know what I mean. So everyone's experience is relative to their own tattoo. So when people ask, does it hurt? Or how much does it hurt? Everyone tends to have a different answer, because I could bring a client here that will say, oh, it's fine. And then another one will say it's worse than when I gave birth. And it just really depends on how big the tattoo is, where it is.
Yeah.
So when you get to those really big, painful tattoos, there's lots of things we use. There's numbing creams. There's all sorts of things. I would like to emphasize that in 11, 12 years of doing this, I promise you, nobody's ever gotten halfway through the treatment and said, I can't do this. Touch wood, but everyone's always completed their treatment because of how fast it is. We use, So it's a valid concern, but there's something deep down in my gut just says, if you want it gone, you can do it, you know?
Awesome.
I think
Very
Rita, I can't think of the word. My brain's not
the
working.
experience.
Not your experience, your comparison. That's the word. Your comparison of the pain's pretty accurate. That's the closest thing I can relate it to. You know, a Sunday morning, you're cooking bacon and eggs. You're not wearing a shirt and that bacon pops and you get the oil on your stomach. Really similar.
Yeah, or you know when you have a rubber band and then you do like that with a rubber band and then
I haven't done that very often. not intentionally.
when you're in school.
It's not a good sales pitch. Like, I can totally understand that, but it does feel like when you get a little shot of hot oil.
Yeah.
Really similar to that.
Yeah, that's how I think too.
Or if some of the women out there have had hair removal, a very similar flick, very similar sensation, but it's a few levels up.
Yeah. Well, I think that was your answer, Jody. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Real quick?
Yeah. The question was, what does the pain feel really like?
What does it really feel like? Hot oil.
Yeah.
Hot oil's the answer.
Hot oil. Yeah.
Which I know that's nobody's going to break the door down trying to get that done. But that is the honest truth. The closest thing I relate it to is that bacon fat, or if you're cooking a chicken schnitzel and get that drop. Similar to your answer. Yeah, Rita's experienced this a few times.
Yeah.
So now she's earned her stripes.
Yes.
Geordie?
Yeah, there was
Geordie, I would say if you truly want your tattoo gone, like it sounds like you do, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you can go through the pain of putting it on, that extended pain, you can go through a much shorter, brief pain to remove it. So
awesome.
Yeah. Expect pain, but expect the tattoo to go as well. So pick your pain.
Cool. Yeah. There you go. Second question. Hi, Elliot. I'm looking to get my tattoo removal, and the assessment that I went to, they told me that I need only few zaps, but 6 to 10 sessions. Why does it take so long? Also, I'm wondering if I don't get the results that was promised and not progress as it should, what would be your recommendations? This comes from Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a question to unpack.
Yes.
This is pretty much the whole of tattoo removal.
So the first,
give me the first question
is,
within the question.
Why does it take so long?
Because,
she said,
how many treatments or time between treatments? What's the question?
She said she went to a place.
Yep.
They said that's going to be just a few zaps, but it will be like between 6 to 10 treatments.
Cool.
Why does it take so long?
It takes that long because if you imagine, it's kind of hard to explain, but just bear with me because it will make sense. When you have a tattoo in your skin, you have layers of ink within your skin. Each treatment, because we're obviously outside your body, the laser has to penetrate your skin and it's going to hit the top layers of ink. For the next 8 weeks, your body flushes those layers of ink out of your body. Next treatment, we can hit the next layers. So if you think treatment by treatment, we're chipping our way down the layers of ink until the tattoo is completely gone. There's no way to hit all of the layers at once, requiring one treatment. We have to do multiple treatments to chip through each layers. And the reason some tattoos need more treatments is because there's more ink. it's darker, there's more ink saturation. Or if it's really light gray shade, it might only need 2 or 3 because there's hardly any layers of ink. So multiple treatments are required. There's no way to get around that. And the more treatments you will need will be very relative to how dark your tattoo is.
All right.
So that's the first part of that question. It takes that long because of the amount of ink in your skin.
Sure. There you go. And then the second part is, if she doesn't get the results that was promised, what would be, and not seeing the progress, what would be the recommendation?
I would recommend not even starting with a place that's promising you things.
Okay.
Tattoo removal has way too many variables. I don't think I've ever made a promise in my life with tattoo removal because the honest truth is you can't. The depth, certain colors, there's influencing factors that we genuinely don't know. So you can never, I'll give guesstimates where it's sort of like an educated guess based on past removals, but I can never say you're going to need exactly 8 treatments. Never. It's literally not possible. And I feel like if anybody ever gives you an exact number, you need to know, not be concerned, but you need to know that that's like, how did they get to that? There's too many influencing factors to get an exact answer. So I always say average black tattoo is 6 to 10. Super broad window. I get that. And I tell everybody that.
Yeah.
Some need less, some need more. So if you don't
depends.
get your promised results, I would probably, I shouldn't say blame you, but you can't be promised anything. There's a lot of questions in this question. The next part is why?
Then she just asked what would be your recommendations if like the results, she doesn't get the results was promised.
Yeah.
If you
even before you get into that mess, just
Yeah.
Make sure you're confident. Make sure the clinic has before and afters. You'll probably find if you're unsatisfied with your removal or you get into this predicament where, all right, so let's say here's a scenario. Somebody asks for a removal assessment and I say, look, average tattoo, 6 to 10 treatments. That's a broad estimate. And then another clinic gives that same client an estimate that says 5 treatments. The client's probably going to pick the one that says 5.
Yeah.
Because they're going to think, oh, this clinic is going to take less treatments. Where that is not really the reality, if that makes sense. So if you were to pick a clinic that gives you an exact number, there's a really good chance that that number won't be met because the clinic can't know. Like there's no way to know exactly. So there's a really good chance you will find yourself in that situation where you've hit that number of treatments, the tattoo's still not gone, and then you're in this situation where you're concerned.
Yeah.
So
your recommendation.
My recommendation is just do your homework. Before and afters take years to achieve. So something that I often say to my clients in the clinic is if your tattoo removalist is achieving the results you want, is actually achieving before and afters, complete removals, they will post them everywhere. They'll be on their website, they'll be on their social media accounts because that is their sales pitch, right?
Yeah.
That's the proof. That is what they've achieved. It's really concerning how few impressive complete removals are out there. So I would say do your homework, make sure the clinic that you choose has really impressive before and afters, ones that you would be happy with.
Don't believe in promise.
And if you get a promise or like a certain exact number of treatments, be a little bit hesitant. Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, I think a little bit does fall on the consumer, the client's shoulders. Like, don't be completely ignorant and sort of oblivious to it. Don't run straight into it blind. Do a bit of research.
Absolutely. Do your research and you'll be happy.
And just promises. Promises with tattoo removal isn't a thing. You know, you could have a tattoo that's done so deep, or your lymphatic system could be less effective, or there's these influencing factors that I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Not until you start, you know. Usually your first couple treatments are a really good indication because it starts to paint a picture of how it's going, so how many more will be required. But just looking at a tattoo and saying this many treatments, it's like unless you got a crystal ball.
Yeah. I think that you already answered a little bit of like the third question.
Oh, cool.
So here is Lewis. It's Lois here. I love your content and I've listened to you guys for a while now. I got told that my full back tattoo would take 3 years to disappear. How many sessions will you need for the period of 3 years?
Yeah, super interesting.
Yeah, because it's like
the
opposite.
I would like to point out that there is no, like, I know I sound so wishy-washy, but there is no straight answer with tattoo removal.
It's a full back tattoo though.
Fun fact, size, surface area doesn't influence it. It's about depth. Your entire back will remove in the same pace as your small wrist tattoo. It doesn't matter about surface area. It matters about layers and depths and densities. Does that make sense? Or a really light gray shade full back tattoo will remove faster than a solid black star on a wrist.
Really?
If it's super dark, yeah, because it's not about surface areas. It's about layers and ink saturation, right? So that's a good question about the time.
Yeah, because they said it would take 3 years to disappear. So he goes, how many
It probably would, yeah. Because I mean, I removed that really dark hand tattoo of mine, took about 3 years. But I would be more inclined, as a client, I would want it to take longer and do less treatments, if that makes sense. 2 years, 2 to 3 years is a really good thing to come to terms with at the beginning and just accept that, and it is what it is. But allowing enough time between the treatments. What can you reiterate that question?
So he said, I've been listening to you guys for a while. I got told that my back tattoo would take 3 years to disappear. How many sessions will you need for this period?
I mean, technically, geez, you put me on the spot with maths. If you did 8 weeks between treatments, you could do 18 treatments in 3 years. Most black tattoos don't need 18 treatments. But the thing is that you put enough time between your treatments. So
between like
there's
6 to 8 weeks.
Way more than that. Way more.
That.
So 6 weeks is the recommended minimum. I tell all my clients never do it. Never. We won't ever do 6 weeks. It's really hard. Yeah. Without seeing it, it's a really hard question.
Send us a photo.
Yeah, send a photo. But there's a few full back clients that I work on, and we do them in quarters. Because if you think of how big your back tattoo is, a quarter of your back's about an A4 sheet of paper. Incredibly big tattoo. So we generally do every few weeks, we'll do a quarter. So then by the time we get back to the first quarter, it might be 3 months or so since we did that. So we do a bit of a rotation. So then this is another complexity to that question. Number of treatments, that really depends on what your rotation is. Because if we're doing, let's say for back tattoo, let's just say for easy maths needs 10 treatments to completely remove. If we're doing it in quarters, that's 40 treatments. It's 40 appointments to do the whole tattoo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know it's the answers are so wishy-washy. But allowing more time is the fundamental key to keeping your treatments as low as possible. Yeah,
because each person has like a different way how to react with the
your lymphatic system needs time.
Yeah.
You know, if you do a treatment every 6 weeks, you'll do twice as many treatments as you do one every 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So allow enough time. Don't be sort of convinced to do it too soon. You can do each quarter quite soon. You know, you could do 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, but you still have to wait 4 weeks till we start that rotation because we need 8 weeks from the initial one. So
there you go.
Yeah. Now I remember why I didn't like Q&As, because there's no straight answer. Honestly, there's not. There's not really a straight answer.
Each person has like individual requirement.
Yeah. I find the average removal takes about 2 years. And that's sort of,
the journey.
Yeah.
Just should go with
I would
the
be
flow.
more inclined to come to terms with the years than how many treatments. But then I do understand that's hard for a consumer because they're looking at the financial cost, which is leaning towards number of treatments. So, as always, my biggest recommendation is allow more time between your treatments.
There you go.
To get as much value for money.
That's your answer, Lewis.
Yeah,
Thank
Lewis.
you so much for hitting us up.
Yeah, and if you want specific info, it doesn't matter if you're not in Brisbane or Gold Coast. Just send it through, send a photo, ask for a removal assessment, and you will get everything. And at least you can take that knowledge on board and just compare it to
Yeah, to other places
Yeah,
if he wants
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
Removal
Awesome.
assessments are free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Rita.
Yeah, that's all right.
That was a great Q&A session. A little bit wishy-washy. I feel a little bit overwhelmed, but
yeah, but I think everyone got the answers.
yeah.
Did you reply to them pretty good?
Yeah.
So
Yep. You did a wonderful
yeah.
job reading them. And as always, guys, if we gave you value, please leave a Google review. It'll be in the description below. That helps us pick up new clients. So what seems to be a small Google review really adds up. So if we gave you value,
please just hit subscription.
Yeah. If you're on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. We'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.